How's it going, everybody? Another episode of the XBA brought to you on the GG9 channel. We have two teams hovering around 500. The records disappear, but here they are. Wisconsin 10-9, Kentucky sitting at 7-10. You guys see the board there as Chicago, Pittsburgh, New York playing very well. Detroit, a bit of a surprise, along with Toronto in the early going. I'm interested to see this one here. We have the Bandits and Colliers. Battle of the point guards, Lonzo Ball, Darius Garland, but you can't sleep on this guy. That would be Anthony Davis. No Joel Embiid tonight for Wisconsin. He's one of the few players in the injury pool. And we'll check out the injuries and the standings after this video. We're going to get into January by the end of this thing. So right now, Wisconsin off to a nice start. Anthony Davis is pitching in offensively, though, and looking very good in the process. Smiley with a 2, and then TJ Giffey, a guy that Wisconsin is really excited about this year, and they want him to keep up the good pace of play here. He's only been in the league for a very brief time, and he's looking good so far. And Marc Edouard, with those arms that are not human, he has some kind of alien DNA swimming around in there, but yeah, those are not human arms. He's putting him to use. Al Horford, needless to say, a lot smaller than Marc Edouard at power forward. So Boucher and Horford are pitching in, and they've got Wisconsin in the lead right now. It's now a 3-point game. Jabari Parker's going to hit it too. Jabari Parker's been like the silent warrior for this Kentucky team. He's been around since the very beginning, season 1. And Theo Maledon's going to make a big dunk. It'll be 80-73. Rakeem Savage for 3. Still getting minutes there at shooting guard. Brogdon gonna score, make it a 4-point game right now. Kentucky, it's got about a minute left. Darius Garland with a hook is not gonna get over Lonzo Ball, and then Lonzo's gonna throw it into Theo Maledon. So it's 84-78 and a miss. Jeremy Grant's gonna get it, and he will go to the line. So we got about 35 seconds. It's now a free throw contest. Lonzo Ball is gonna miss the first and the second. Davis will haul it in. You got 4 points separating the two teams. And we have a foul. It's going to be off-ball foul on Boucher. You're going to get the first to go, first and only. And a steal for Lonzo Ball. He was just standing there, and it was thrown away. They're going to kill some time, take the shot. Lonzo nails it, 86-81. So Kentucky had the opportunity to tie that game, and they just threw it away from the inbound pass. I don't think they saw Lonzo Ball, but that's what you get for not paying attention. Anthony Davis, 17-10. He was your player of the game in the loss for Kentucky. And you see Maledon and Boucher. Get the French connection going on here with Boucher. Not French, but that last name. Detroit, the Detroit Power, one of the shocker teams in this early going. They have revamped the bench. It's kind of a guard-heavy look for them. They're shooting the ball very well. San Jose is not playing great. Still trying to get used to that new look team. You know, they got Wendell Carter and Vucevic in the starting lineup, along with somebody who is French, Bruno Versace, for 2. Or Italian. Ooh, I gotta look that up. I think he's Italian. So right now, San Jose is going to get the lead back. Foul is going to go against the Cleveland State product, O.J. Cooper. And right now, 26-22, we have Cedric Machado-Rainford getting the lay-in. He's coming in off the bench, playing a big role for Detroit, trying to score. And he's done very well as a rookie. We'll have the rookie stats, too, at the end of this video. Brandon Ingram is going to dunk it over Paul George to tie this thing up. And hopefully for Detroit, take the lead. And the Power are now on top, 44-43. It's going to be Anthony Edwards, who's really starting to become a big focal point for the San Jose team. I would hope so. It's year 5 of his career. I mean, he came into the league at age 18, so this would be about the time you expect him to become a superstar. He's an 88 overall, so he'll see if he can kind of turn into that all-star kind of form. He's had a nice run for San Jose. But Machado-Rainford again, scoring here and again. That's 3 in a row for Machado-Rainford, or 3 highlights in a row at least. 63-57. And there's Bryant Oubre. So the young guys for Detroit making an impact here in the third quarter. Edwards will score. We're going to skip ahead here. 87-81. And that'll be Rondé Russell for 2. Making an 8-point game. Obi Toppin going to haul it in. Find Bradley Beal. Beal's trying to take it inside. Gets kind of stuffed there by Jack King II, but he will score over King. And Vucevic gets the ball in, but again, off ball. Well, there'll be a 3-second violation against Edwards. Goes the other way. Detroit scores. We're still within. It's now a single-digit game here, guys. 5 points and a miss. Vucevic will have to commit the foul. Time running out, about 30 seconds. Kevin Love will miss. Machado Rainford goes to the line, picks up some more points, and make this thing a 103-93 final. Rondé Russell is very good in this one for Detroit, and another win for the Detroit Power. A bit of a surprise right now in the XBA. Russell had 29 in this game. Ingram 21. Machado Rainford off the bench with 15. Jesse Head with 10 boards. Edwards was your leading scorer. Versace had 10 assists. Paul George was nowhere to be found. No Paul George highlights, really. Bad game for him, and a bad game for the Cyborgs as they fall further underwater. The San Diego Cyclones are going to go at the New York Neon. Neon having a tough year so far. They're not really in that playoff chase. I mean, obviously, it's very early, but they are, speaking of underwater, teams underwater, well under 500 in the early going, but you know, a little win streak here and there, that'll fix things, and that's what Kemmerly is going to try to do and use his scoring skills to get this team on the board. Scalabrini for 3 for San Diego. Here's Justice Bettis, who has been one of the best rookies in the early going. Here's the other Kemmerly for 3. So a nice competitive game here. It's 38-32. Russell Westbrook's going to knock a 3 down. There is Colton Kemmerly. He's going to get that roll. It'll be a 5-point game. Drummond's going to dunk it over Looney. That's the one area that you might want to attack San Diego on. They don't have a ton of size. Drummond will miss this one, though. I mean, they're relying on Looney and TJ Leaf to be their top 2 big guys. So it's not a great situation. San Diego, I'm sure they'll want to look at the trade deadline at acquiring a center. But, you know, Looney's a 78 right now, so he's not exactly chopped liver. But that is a spot that might need to be addressed. Russell Westbrook, who is a free agent at the end of this year. I can't imagine the Cyclones without Russell Westbrook. He is the face of this team. He's taken him to the playoffs a few times right on his back. You see him dunking there. It's going to be a 5-point game with 2 minutes. 3-ball. RJ Hampton's good. Here's Artie St. Patrick with time running out on the clock. And then Looney will recover and score over Zach Collins. There's Kari Lyons. First time we've really seen him bring it down the house here. 91-88. Bettis will score. So Bettis getting some clutch minutes here late. Zach Collins, what are you doing, man? He had an easy look there. And then Hampton is going to fly out for the ball and get the turnover. So make it 95-88. The Cyclones get a win on the road against New York Neon by 7. So the Neon got to turn things around here soon. Plenty of season left, but we're about a third of the way in now, and they are almost in last place. So, you know, there's time. There's time, though. Like I said, you win 4 or 5 in a row, all of a sudden now you're, like, sniffing that 8 seed, and we'll see what happens with the New York Neon. All right, first time we've seen these teams this year, Kansas City and Columbus. Kansas City under 500. They got off to an atrocious start. They were about 8 or 9 games under 500 before they started picking up a couple W's. And right now they're sitting at a few games under. Columbus sitting pretty in the Eastern Conference, looking like an obvious playoff team. Oliver Grimes has been getting more minutes at power forward right now. Tayshaun was the starter at the beginning of the year, and they're trying to mix things up. They had to mix things up because they just were not efficient enough, not scoring enough, even with Morant and Doncic. There's Zion with a dunk, and then Doncic going to get on the board. All right, 35-29. It's going to be Asher Payne to RJ Barrett. Barrett's going to shoot a 3. Cobalt Andreas on defense. Here's Andreas, the first-round draft pick for Kansas City, getting to the line. He'll score a couple points here for the Stampede. It's going to be 38-31. And a score make it 40-31. And the other draft pick, Myron Bones, gets to the line. He's going to make one. That'll be a 3-ball for Morant. And almost as time expires, 2-ball for Columbus. So right now Zion has 8 and 3. Hartenstein was 6 and 9. So he's kind of your top performer for Kansas City. Still a comfortable lead here for Columbus, and the unsung hero for this team perhaps could be Keldon Johnson. Knocking a 3 down. Here's DeAndre Jones guarding Williamson. Zion's going to go to the line, and DeAndre Jones doesn't like it, but it was a foul. Doncic going to get the 3. All right, it's a 6-point game right now, and Isaiah Stewart hits a deep 2 to make it an 8-point ball game. Going to hit the deck as Harrell. Doncic scores. It'll be a 6-point game. We got 4.5 left. Doncic, no good. Hartenstein's going to clean it up and score. We got a 5-point game right now. Bernard Colvin gets to the line. Going to draw the foul against Morant. It's now 85-77 here as we go under 3 minutes. And another foul. So we go against John Morant. Colvin gets to the line. 10-point game right now. Morant scores. Keep it within single digits. Turnaround's good by Tyler Hero, and then way downtown, but unguarded is Tyler Hero to go up by double digits. Kansas City going to knock down a meaningless 2 here, and Columbus will win by 10. So the Basket Hounds are going to defend the doghouse here. 99-89. Kansas City drops another one. Still in the mix, but, they got, like New York, got to fix things in a hurry. Doncic had 21, 20 for Morant. Grimes scored 9, 5, and 4. Andreas had a couple points there. So right now, we're going to simulate a couple weeks ahead and get to Christmas time. Here's what we're looking at right now. I think this is mid-December at this point. BC Chicago, 21-10. New York, 19-9. Columbus, Wisconsin, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's looking good. They dropped 4 straight, though. Look at the Toronto Stags at 17-11. The other Canadian team right behind them, Montreal, 17-12. Tampa Bay is playing pretty well, 17-13. Detroit has won 2 straight. They're sitting at 16-13. Philly, underwater, 13-14. You got Atlanta, Washington, Miami, and Jacksonville. And Carolina. So the whole XBA Southeast is not really moving the needle here. Kentucky, Cincinnati, and New York. So Cincinnati is starting to drop some games. They've lost a few in a row at the bottom. Denver Summit right now at the top of the Western Conference. LA and Honolulu are starting to put things together again. LA's won 4 straight. Honolulu was a little bit under 500 a couple weeks ago. They've since gone over 500. California's having a nice year at 16-15. See, they're scoring over 100 and allowing over 100 points a game. You got Alaska, New Orleans, San Diego, St. Louis. Vegas is slipping a little bit. Houston and Nashville have really started to slip lately with 4 straight losses. Seattle's dropped 5 in a row. And then you got Kansas City, formerly mentioned, at 13-18. Phoenix and San Jose and El Paso. So a couple of the mainstays in the Western Conference not having good seasons so far. And then SoCal is getting drubbed a lot. And you saw the point differential there, minus double digits. And then you can kind of tell why. Culver and Marcus Bryant are out. So Kendrick's been out for a while with a big ankle sprain. Jaylen Brown out for Vegas is going to hurt for a long time. They have the depth to overcome that, though. But we also see Kobe White out for El Paso, and El Paso is struggling. He's been out for a couple weeks so far. And McFly's out. Philly's got a couple injuries, Rosado and Oubre, but Philly's depth will probably help them out here. Lonzo Ball going to miss some time for Wisconsin as well. Blake Hudson, we didn't see him in that game. Nikos, McLaurin, Eklund. So our draft class creator, we got to talk to him about these players' injury ratings. And maybe they're low. I don't know. Could be. So the Bruisers are going to be out with a couple of guys. They're going to stick Thibault in at small forward. LA having a nice run lately, as I mentioned here on Christmas Day. We're going to have a nationally televised game here, marquee matchup, Philly and LA. Yusuf Nurkic also is looking to be an all-star this year. He's had a great season with LA, and check this out, one of our first highlights for Mikhail Preobrazensky. So he's getting minutes now with those injuries at small forward. Philly going to score here. Steamin' Tacos hitting the deck. Levine's like, what did I do? 38-38. Levine trying to get that bucket back, and he will. It'll be 40-38. Steven Adams he's had a good year for Philly too. He's on the decline at his age, but he's still a valuable contributor for this team. And right now, 42-42, Darren Fox is going to be inside a 2, and he will knock it down. So Fox gives Philly the lead. Entering halftime, they seem to be outplaying the Leopards a little bit on both ends of the floor. It's going to be 3 points right now. Diamantacos, another foul against Levine. 6-point game, Levine for 3. Knocks it down. LA trying to come back on their home turf. We got about 5 minutes left in the fourth. And a good block there. Christian Wood's feeling it, but forgot to cover Lucas on the other end off the inbound. Right under the basket. Philly pulling away here, and they're going to steal it right from Jamal Murray and score. Make it 77-69. Deep one. Turner corrals it inside to Jonah Lucas. And the foul. All right, 84-78 right now. Bishop, Rolando Bishop's going to throw it in. There's Christian Wood. Bishop's had a pretty good go of it so far. He's going to drain that one. 86-80. And Bishop gets a foul on Jamal Turner. He's going to knock a couple down. It's going to turn into that free throw contest. Here's Diamantacos. Gets the first and the second. 88-82. DeAndre Hunter, who's been really clutch for LA over the years in this series, will miss. 91-85, guys. The Bruisers going to take this one. Philly wins by 6 on the road. Bit of a surprise here. Philly, they were a game or two under 500 entering this one, and kind of nice to see them get off the schneid a little bit. Beat a very good team in the LA Leopards. Priya Brzezinski had 9 and 8, so he's been productive when he's been getting in there. Rudy Hollow is starting to pick up some minutes too. All right, the Neptunes at the Night Owls. Two teams with very high expectations, but the XBA has a way of tampering down expectations and delivering some surprises. You see the Night Owls at 12 and 15. I don't know what New Orleans' problem is. They're 14 and 14 with Lillard, Kawhi Leonard, and Klay Thompson, along with Juan Argueda and Thomas Bryant. So, this is an extremely talented team. Don't know what their problem is. Don't know what Miami's problem is. Tatum, Gilgeous-Alexander, and Donovan Mitchell, and they can't win in a diluted XBA. I don't understand it. This is 2023, man. They should even be better than they are right now, you would think. But I'm not really sure how to explain this. Miami, though, there's time for this team to really put things together. You see Mitchell. He's getting the crowd to their feet. Miami is starting to pull away here in the second quarter, up by 15 right now. Mitchell will score, and just New Orleans not making enough plays offensively. There's Kawhi Leonard, gets to the lane, but here's Calvin Hobbs, offensive threat at power forward out of Stanford. And look at the box score there, and they're crushing New Orleans in every facet. Hobbs gonna dunk it. It's gonna be a 17-point ball game. Tatum's only got 7 so far today, but it's enough. It's enough right now. He's scoring here. Make it 62-45. So New Orleans just not able to really close this gap until Damian Lillard hits a 3. We got under 5 minutes left in a 12-point game, and Lillard gonna reduce it down to 10. Dunk for Mitchell to go back up 12 and 2 ball. So guys, right now 9 points. Gilgeous-Alexander, it's just been a mismatch all day. He's got some size and some length on Juan Argueda. So Argueda has not had a great game, whereas Gilgeous-Alexander has been very productive offensively. And Sabonis gets the foul. Thomas Bryant's going to commit it. That should do it. 103-85. So an 18-point win in the end. New Orleans made him sweat just a little bit there, mid-fourth quarter, but Miami does finish him off pretty easily. Mitchell had 23 in this one. Gilgeous-Alexander with 18. Argueda had 9, 2, and 4. So not great for him. New Orleans got to figure this out, man. It's the second year in a row they've underwhelmed. And a couple teams here that got off to fairly decent starts find themselves under 500. Nashville and Vancouver, as we are on December 28th, I believe it is right now. Vancouver gets an early lead. Nashville's going to tie it up. There's Price falling away. No, Sanchez, just like they drew it up, gets the lay-in here. So Vancouver, I think this is the year you want to see Vancouver make a playoff push. They're young. Obviously, they still have a pretty bright future. Guys like Jaquel Hyde, 4-2. Guys like DJ Anthony, Beck. You know, it's just the whole roster almost. Claycius Nash. And there's Beck for 2. No, Nash going to clean it up and score. So Vancouver, I feel like this is a team that nobody's really got their eye on. But maybe next year, I don't think they can get much higher than the 8 seed this year if they do string a run together. But it's a team for next season. I think Vancouver is going to be XBA championship caliber. I think they might, the whole team. If the whole team gets the effort going and sees the requisite progression, I think you're looking at a team that could take home the title. But, you know, the XBA is deep, so you really never know what's going to happen. There's always 6 or 7 teams in each conference that have a realistic chance of winning the whole thing. But talking about this year, it's good to see them making some strides. You see they get a double-digit lead over Nashville right now. Kevin Durant's going to knock one down. Leonard to Damian Dillard. This connection has been pretty good the last couple of years. Kleber, you got to like that matchup against Sean Leonard. So we're inside of 10 points. We got 2.5 minutes, but Marvin Bagley, who's been anointed as the veteran and the leader of this team, will score. There's Sean Leonard going inside. 7-point game right now, and Durant's going to miss an easy one. Here's Leonard backing up and turning around, and he knocks it down. Sean Leonard has been really good for Vancouver. Spent 1 year in XBA 2 Portland, and that's all he needed. He got a lot better down there, and this is his 3rd year now in Vancouver, so he's been pretty good for this squad. All right, Leonard, 16 points. Hyde was 16. LaBelle, 12. DJ Anthony had 9-2-2-2. So productive game for DJ Anthony. Durant with 18. Price, 17. Jeff Jefferson has been having himself a pretty good year. Scores 10. McClure was kept off of the stat sheet for the most part. So, guys, we are on January 1st. It's New Year's Day, and BC Chicago is the best team in the Eastern Conference. New York City Slickers at 20-10, looking very good. Columbus 20-12. Montreal's 19-12. You got Wisconsin, Pittsburgh. So not too much change from the last time that we saw these standings. They've only played a few games since then. Toronto, Detroit, if the season ended today, would be a playoff team. The Sting, I believe, would be the 8th seed. So Philly at 15-15, defending champion Atlanta Olympians 16-18. Kentucky's won 6 in a row, so Kentucky's making a charge back up the standings. Washington, I'm a little disappointed in Washington. There is an injury to Demetrius Frazier, so that's been hurting them. Jacksonville's been invisible. Carolina, Cincinnati, not a big surprise down there. But the Neon, I did think the Neon would be a lot better this year than they turning out to be. And the Western Conference, Denver, LA, Alaska moving up a little bit. California at 17-16. The Cyclones are having a solid year as well. But like I said, big log jam. California is the 4th best team in the conference, and they're only 1 game over 500. So a lot of variability in there. As you see St. Louis, Honolulu, New Orleans, Vancouver. The Jacks have dropped 3 in a row. Houston keeps losing at 6 straight. Martians have won twice in a row. And that loss for the Tempo, not a good omen here. A winnable game against Vancouver, and they can't pull it out. And the Peppers have now lost 9 straight without Kobe White and Nikos. So it's not looking good. But right now, the injury report here, that's what we're talking about. Demetrius Frazier with an 8 to 10 week injury. So that's a big one. Going to miss the majority of the rest of the season. So they need Frazier, I think, if they're going to make a push back into the playoffs. Kendrick's been having a good year, but he's got to get back soon. He's going to miss 2 to 4 weeks. It's going to be a little bit. McFly still hurt. And the Chili Dogs want McFly out there. Got to get him experience this year to try to put something together next year. Chili Dogs think that they've got a solid roster, something that they can build around for 2024. Lauri Markkanen going to be out for the jump, so not good news for Jacksonville. Jacksonville's going to have a decision to make here about what you're going to do with Steph Curry, because his contract will be up at the end of the year, and I don't think Jacksonville looks that competitive. So right now, our points leaders, Anthony Davis, your de facto MVP, is leading the league in points per game. Cole Anthony has really blossomed. He's moved to shooting guard with John Wall starting at point guard for Carolina, and you saw Kimberly Malik Jones up there. You got Lillard, Embiid, who's missed some time, but he's getting 21 a game. CJ Thomas has 21 per game, and then Shannon Hargrove is scoring 21. points a game as a rookie. He's getting a ton of minutes, though, so that's kind of helped his stat production. St. Patrick slipped a little bit. I know in the last video he was averaging 22 points a game, which was one of the tops in the league, but he's drifting back a little bit. Blackman right now is averaging 20 on the dot. Giannis, only 19 this year, along with Trae Young, only 19. I thought they might be scoring a little bit more. Doncic is getting 7 rebounds and 7 assists per game to go with the 26th best points per game average. And Malachi down there is 30th in the league in scoring. Let's look at the rookie report here. Machado Rainford, 17. We talked about Hargrove, who's been, I'd say, clearly rookie of the year. Burnside was 16.5, so Burnside's taking a lot of shots. But Justice Bettis, I think, is like the big sleeper out of this whole group, scoring 15 a game. Nader's been awesome for Tampa Bay. Larathable's been very good. Kari Lyons, good from 3 range as well. Kendricks had been okay, but he's missed some time. Sikora and Ranger pitching in. Sutton doesn't really count. He spent most of last year in Alabama. And then you see Hobbs, Daniel Rudd, a second-round draft pick, get 9 a game. Okada, Edwards, George. You got Nash with 8.2. Hemsworth, 7.7. Maverick Blitz, 7.7. Eitan Laterman, a second-round pick as well, with 7.2 a game. Kendricks got 7.1. Looking at 2.6 rebounds, I guess. Donovan's picking up some minutes with Columbus. Peterson, I expected a little bit more. Yeah, Beck, Cooper, Horace Hill, Jin Howe's got 5.9 offensively, but to go with 7.5 rebounds a game. And, he splits a lot of time with Hassan Whiteside. Meissner, it's hard for Meissner and Laterman to really get in there and get a ton of minutes. Joseph Jones, you think he might be able to get more minutes. He's 77. He's pretty good. AJ Creighton for Pittsburgh's been solid. Andreas, kind of a logjam there. He's behind DeAndre Jones on the depth chart, but he's scoring a little bit. Pluto Pierre, not too productive, but then you've also got Rudy Hollow, who started to get some minutes. So, bright futures for a lot of these guys. We'll see how far we can get into the series as we're at the halfway point, thereabouts, in year number 5. So let's hear what you guys think. Who do you think at this point is looking good for the postseason? Who do you think has a realistic chance at winning the XBA title? Who's your MVP so far? Who's your rookie of the year so far? And we're trying to figure out buyers and sellers at this point. Trade deadline will be in about a month. So the next video, we're going to find out who is going to be buying and selling at that trade deadline. You guys will vote like normal for the trade deadline as it approaches. Okay, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.